All right, hello Top Fan family, and welcome again to another episode of Rivalry Talk. As we always do, we have some fun here. We try to do our best to bring you the best that fans have to offer. Today, we actually have a father and son who are doing a journey to 30, which I think is absolutely amazing. They're going to tell you all about it. You don't need to hear from me, but I got Ramon right to my right here, and then, well, some days he claims Adam, other days he doesn't. Today it seems like he does, so that's actually a good thing, right? Or do you claim him today?
Yeah.
All right.
I made
so
it.
it's like he made the cut. He made the cut. So let's get into it. So Adam, we're going to start with you.
Yes.
You guys, I know the answer to this, but tell everybody out there, you guys are fans of what team?
So we're fans of the New York Mets, and they have broken our hearts for so many years. So if you can see here, they break our hearts. So we are currently free agents.
There you go.
And so we are we're based out of Florida, but we've been lifelong Mets fans. My dad's been a Mets fan since they started, and I inherited the team.
There you
so
go.
Thank you for that.
There you go. And Ramon already told me how he feels about the Yankees, and I told him, I said, you know, in the pregame we were saying, okay, let's do our best to make sure that we use language that's appropriate for for YouTube. And what was your response?
My response is, I don't have to curse them. Joe Torre already cursed them. He wrote a book against them. I was shocked when I was reading that.
There you go. There you go. All right. So, Ramon, I'm going to start with you. What were 3 or 4 of the ballparks that you were looking forward to going to in your journey to 30?
San Diego,
Okay.
because it's a family atmosphere. They got so many things for the family. It's a beautiful park and you can walk all around. The second one was St. Louis. They got so much history. Like they have won the most World Series besides the Yankees. And not only that, I got to throw out the first pitch, which was crazy, which I couldn't believe it, when the guy came up to me and took me to their Hall of Fame for, what did you call it?
The first pitch, yeah.
Yeah, the first pitch. He took me up and he had a ball. He says, I said, what? I can't believe this. Are you going to put me on that wall of the Hall of Fame? And he just started laughing. The next one is the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles have a history and they have a beautiful park. And like all the other parks that we went to, they are beautiful parks and I like them. I like the people there, the fans. They treated us so nice, especially a boy from New York City. And you know, a lot of people in this country think that people from New York are gangsters. No way, I'm no gangster. I was a hard-working man. I had 2 jobs, 3 boys, and I made sure that I stay out of trouble.
Good. Adam, same question. 3 ballparks you were looking forward to.
So I was looking forward to taking my dad to the West Coast for the first time. So he's never been to the West Coast, so I was very looking forward to that.
Okay.
I spent some time in group sales in sports, and I really like to see stadiums that have different fan experiences, different groups, and then just kind of find the unique things about every stadium. So of course, the ones that everybody ranks at the top, you have your PNC, which we haven't done yet. I'm excited to go see that. But I was also excited to go see T-Mobile Park for Seattle, to take my dad to Oracle. Very excited about Camden Yards as well. So, and Texas, I've been there in the past, but I knew he was going to like it because everything is big over there. So,
Everything is much bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
How many ballparks have you guys been to together?
So this year we just knocked off 18 last night in San Diego. So we've done 18 this season.
Okay. So Adam, I guess the question comes to you next is maybe 2 or 3 of the ballparks that you went to that really stood out to you that you wouldn't mind going back to.
Oh, I would say San Diego was beautiful. super clean, so much variety of food, so many different things to do, whether you're Gallagher Square or hanging out outside, just a ton of different like things to do, and the crowd was great. They took really good care of us, so I'm biased whenever a team does really well. And then I would say St. Louis also, and for that same reason, I was very surprised that like at how nice the ballpark was, how much history it was, and then the Cardinals did so much for my dad, like he mentioned. You know, they surprised us with getting him to do a lifelong memory that we had no idea was going to happen. So like those type of things, but I really love the ballpark. So many different things to do. Families, young people, you know, and the older crowd as well. So it's fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Ramon, same question. 2 ballparks that just stood out to you and why?
Stood out.
Yeah. That you wouldn't mind going back to.
San Diego,
Uh-huh.
St. Louis. Can I name more?
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
The Nationals Park is beautiful too.
Okay.
And they got some history there. Got a lot of good ball players. And another park was Texas Rangers.
Arlington.
They have a beautiful park, and I wouldn't mind going there. Probably even move to Texas.
Uh-oh.
That's how beautiful it was.
Moving to Texas. It's too hot down there this time of year. You don't want to be in Texas this time of year. Okay, so Ramon, I'm going to flip that question on you, and Adam, be prepared for this as well, but I'm going to flip this question on you. So maybe 1 or 2 ballparks that you went to that you said, okay, I've done it. I don't need to go back there. Maybe tell me why.
Okay, I don't want to say anything negative of any park, but the Athletics, they treated me so nice. But their park is small park, and it's like crowded and everything, but they're very nice. They were very nice. Another park is the Angels. The Angels, they really didn't came out to us. Adam, he communicated with them, but they never communicated back. And I was hoping that they would have communicated more and give us a history of their park, and you know, and the Angels, they have a good team.
Yeah, they do. They do, 100%. I like that. I like that. Those are good ballparks that you checked them off your bucket list, and you can say you did.
Yeah.
Adam, same.
You know, I would say the same too. But with the Athletics, it's only because it's a temporary park. I am actually excited to see when they move into Vegas. I know people from Oakland are not very happy that they're moving.
Yeah.
But we got to meet
100%.
a bunch of cool people. Right? Are you originally from? Yeah.
No. I'm from here, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And we talked to a lot of fans that were, you know, they weren't happy about it. And Oakland has always had a good fan base. But, you know, it's just, if they're going to move, Vegas is a cool city to be in.
Yeah.
And we had fun in Sacramento. I love the minor league atmosphere when they sell out a game and all of that. You know, a lot of fan experiences, things like that. But yeah, I think it's one of those parks where you have to visit because they're there temporarily. You want to be a part of history. And then you want to get excited for their new ballpark. So I'm the same way there. You know, and Angels, I don't want to feel ungrateful, right? But it's okay if teams don't follow back up. But it was just a little underwhelming. We had we're in the middle of traveling and things like that. So that was kind of our first game. We actually left a little early. They did have a SpongeBob night when we went. So that was kind of fun. A lot of families there and things like that. But it was, you know, those two I would say are probably ones that I'm like, hey, we did it. Awesome. Checked it off the bucket list. And, you know, probably might not be back for a while.
I'm a history guy. I love history. And the amount of ballparks that I've been to, which is about the same, you guys, maybe 19, 20, 21, something like that. So the amount of ballparks that I've been to, and I grew up here in Orange County. I've been to probably 400 Angel games.
Wow.
The one thing that disappoints me, and it's not a negative, is I don't feel like they attach enough to their history, right? You guys at Citi Field, when you come through the rotunda, and everybody, if you haven't been to Citi Field, go please. But when you come through that rotunda, Jackie Robinson Rotunda, it's next level, and the history that you got, the way that you guys respect it, out in the outfield where you guys have the Hall of Fame stuff, and the way that you respect the history and the Shea Bridge and things like that. That's what I look for when I travel to a ballpark. And I had a New York fan at the other team, right? The one that you mentioned you don't like. But they were in town one time, and they said, "Where's all the history?" I said, "Well, we got this mural right here. And if you go upstairs, we got a couple of like trophies and stuff like that." But it just wasn't. Does that make sense? You guys have been there now, and it's a different feeling. It's a different atmosphere, right?
Yeah, for sure. And one thing too, I will add on that is, I love when like in your sense, like the history, right? Stadiums that allow anybody to see the history. You know, we've been to some where the trophies are only in premium areas, and you know, maybe we got lucky to connect with somebody that might give us a private tour or something, but not everybody gets a chance to see that, and I think that's what helps build fanship, right? And so I think you're right 100%. The history should be shown to everybody. Yeah, maybe there's a couple things that you got to save for, you know, the premium member or the season ticket holders, but at least tell that story. And you know, teams that do that well, you tend to have a pretty loyal fan base. So
100%, 100%. I actually got myself in trouble last time I was at Angel Stadium. So when you guys went to Angel Stadium, did you go around kind of underneath the hats, which is the main entrance? Around the side, they have kind of a mural that has like everybody's records, right? And pitchers, Mike Trout, Don Baylor, all those stuff. You guys saw that, right?
I took a picture.
So I was being a little sarcastic. I just felt like doing it, right? And it was just, I went to the game. It wasn't the best, you know, rough day, everything like that. But you go to the game, and of course the Angels they're not winning. And so I walked over to a guy and I looked and I said, "Hey, you forgot one of the categories." And now the Angels have only won one World Series, 2002, right? And he says, "Well, what category did we forget up here?" And I said, "You're supposed to put two-time World Series champion under Shohei Ohtani." And he looks at me and he turns every shade of red that he possibly can. And he says, "That's with the other team." And I said, "Oh, my bad." And I said, "Well, let me get a Sharpie out. Do you want to just write up here on the wall?" And he wanted nothing to do with me. I was surprised he didn't kick me out. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Sure.
One of the things that I love about doing this, and one of the things that when we started Top Fan, it was all about the fans, right? And I joke about this, but think about this for a second. If any of us call a press conference, we're going to be lucky if we get our mothers or our spouses there, right? But if Pete Alonso or David Wright or anybody that's ever played the game calls a press conference, they get hundreds of people there. So we kind of flipped it on this edge and we said, we're going to make this about us. That being said, I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to give you an opportunity that you guys will remember forever. So I'm going to start with you, Ramon. Can you tell me one or two experiences that you've had with Adam or with any of your boys where you've gone to a game and you're chasing 30 that it's just that experience that you want these boys to remember?
It's more than that.
Okay.
I got to play with my three sons in a softball tournament. My youngest son had just turned 18 years old.
Okay.
I was the manager. I put them all in the lineup, and we played in this tournament. We came in second place, but I was so proud, and I was so happy that I have this memory of playing with my sons. And they're good ball players. I want Adam to play, he could have played baseball and probably made the minor leagues and maybe played in the majors. But he chose to play basketball because baseball was too slow for him.
All 5'6" of them.
Yeah.
I mean, are you sure you chose the right sport? I mean,
I used to dunk. So,
there you go.
yeah.
So he chose to play basketball. And to me, I'm not going to be the father that wants their sons to follow their dream
Right.
of being a baseball player. So he played basketball and he was good, man. He was the point guard of his high school and he was fast and, unbelievable.
Looking back
So-
at it, I probably should have played middle infield and stayed there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was great. That was one of my wonderful memories that I will forever keep in my mind, in my heart,
Okay.
and in my thoughts.
There you go.
Okay?
There you go. Well, that's going to be hard to follow up, my
Yeah,
friend,
for
but
sure.
you're going to do your best. But maybe an experience that you've had with Dad where it's just you were glad that you experienced it together at a ballpark.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I would like to rewind a little bit. When I was working with a basketball team back in 2015, the Mets made it into the World Series, and I was working at the time, watching the game right in front of my computer, waiting, and I pulled up 2 flights.
Okay.
And as soon as we got the third out, I'm jumping around screaming in the office, and I said, book. And I bought 2 flights, and then I called my dad from the work office, and I said, we're going to the World Series. And he goes, yeah. And I go, what are you doing next week? And he says, I'm going to watch the World Series. And I go, do you want to go? And he's like, what? And I go, do you want to go? I just bought 2 flights to New York. We're going.
It's crazy.
And I had no tickets. There was nothing. I just said, I'm going to figure it out. And I ended up pulling every string I can to find a way to get tickets. And we ended up getting to go to Game 3 and Game 4. Game 3 was my most memorable. And I remember I worked in sports. I probably went up to over 1,000 basketball games, 100 baseball games. And my most memorable time was seeing my dad, with all those years of heartbreak, getting a chance to just let loose and like be excited for
Yes.
the team he's been. You know, you get a lot of crap talk to you for your whole life. And then we got to go there and he's like dancing and singing Sinatra. And I'm like, oh man. So I have those memories. And, you know, we got him, I got him like a custom World Series jersey.
Yes.
I kept sneaking back and forth, like, where's the jersey at? They're like, next inning. I'm like, come on. But then, and then one of the guys from the Mets actually asked him the first game, who's your favorite player? So he starts talking about, you know, players 40 years ago. And I go, Daddy, I think he's talking about now. And so he
That's
basically,
fun.
yeah. And he came the next day with a David Wright ball that we still have. It was so cool. So, and one of our favorite players. So I'll never forget that. That was such a cool experience. And it's kind of what motivated me to do this now.
You
with the
called
free
the
agent
home
fan
run
tour.
that he hit.
Oh yeah, I did call it.
Yeah.
And I have it on
We're
camera
looking,
somewhere. so-
David Wright is up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, Dad, David Wright's going to hit a home run now. Bat! The next pitch, a home run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's amazing. Now I'm going to say this into the camera to the audience, okay?
Yeah.
My experience, everybody, that's a New Yorker right there. That no plan of attack. I'm going to figure it out. I'm just going to go. I'm going to get tickets. I'm going to figure out how this is going to roll.
Yeah.
You didn't care. It was like, I don't care if I have to call a friend of a friend of a friend of somebody's old Uber driver. I'm going to that game and figuring it out.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. Okay, I guess the final question. Then I want to break it off and have one-on-ones with you guys. I had an experience with my stepfather, and so I'm going to ask you the same type of thing. Okay, so one day we were in Anaheim, and King Griffey Jr. was a rookie playing for Seattle. King Griffey Sr., who you remember, very good athlete in his day.
Yes.
So King Griffey Sr. hits a home run, and King Griffey Jr. comes up next and hits a home run. So I was in Anaheim. I watched that. It was an amazing experience to
Remember,
watch.
I watched that on TV.
Yeah, you watched it on TV. I was actually at the
there.
game,
great.
and my dad is sitting there telling me, "Oh, you don't understand how awesome what you just saw was," and I just looked at him and like, "Yeah, it's a father and son. Whatever. They hit a home run, right?" Now in my 50s, I look at this and I think, That was pretty cool.
Yes.
So, Adam, was there anything that you, and then Ramon, I'm going to ask you the same question. Is there anything that you've seen live at a game, a milestone, a first home run, something that you would like to share about? Whether Dad was there or not. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been to plenty of sporting events.
Any sport?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll say during the free agent fan tour, we did get to see some milestones. We got to see an MLB debut. So Brandon Montgomery from the White Sox hit a walk-off on his
Okay.
first day in the major league. So that was super cool. The crowd went crazy.
Okay.
We got to see the Miz pitch when we were in Milwaukee. And that day he threw 104.5 miles per hour, struck out 15 batters. He was one hit away from a perfect game. And his last pitch was 103. I was like, what is in
What
it
is
reminded me
going
of
on here?
the movie The Rookie, right? The
Yeah,
kid
yeah,
where he's
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
So,
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
Rookie of the
Henry
Year, yeah.
Rowengarten.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It reminded me of that. I was like, man, this
We
kid
played
is crazy.
here all the time.
Yeah.
And they gave us a ball, right? Remember?
Yeah.
A signed ball.
Yeah.
He signed the ball.
Nice. It's funny that you mentioned Braden
Yeah.
Montgomery. A friend of mine, because where he went to college, a friend of mine works in sports as well, down in Houston area, and he texted me a picture of him. And he goes, "Hey, my buddy's making his MLB debut tonight."
Yeah.
And it was kind of a cold, weird Chicago night, right? When he makes the debut a couple weeks ago, and he hits that walk-off home run. And another friend of mine whose dad is a huge Cubs fan, and he's a huge White Sox fan, texted me after and he goes, "We got something special there."
Oh,
And I
yeah.
thought, okay, well, we'll see. And then I've kind of been watching this kid, and he's really good.
He's good.
Really good.
And
Good.
there was fans that we interviewed prior to, and like 3 of them said, "We just called this new guy up, and I think he's gonna be special." And I was like, they know their ball. It was cool.
By the way,
Yeah.
everybody was losing their mind about the Garrett Crochet trade.
Oh yeah.
He was part of it, right? Nobody understood Kyle Teal. Braden Montgomery was part of it. Colson Montgomery was part of it.
That's true.
So everybody thought, okay, gee, the White Sox are giving up. We're just going to trade these guys.
Yeah.
Look at what they got back.
For sure.
So,
And I would like to add 2 other experiences.
Yeah,
Different sport, right? He said I was basketball.
go ahead.
During the NBA Finals, I was there when Ray Allen hit that shot in Game 6
Okay.
for them to take the ropes off and end up getting us, the Miami Heat, into the finals when I worked there. But my best basketball memory is when the New York Knicks won the championship. And we were on the tour here, and we watched them from the hotel in Minnesota. And we jumped around and screamed, "Ah!" And they were like crying and like, "What this? I can't believe this is real." And then I ran downstairs to go high five some Knicks fans, and it was fun.
People in Minnesota are going, what are these guys
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, uh-huh.
On our podcast last week on Friday, there was she's a Yankees fan, but she's a huge Knicks fan. Her dad grew up in the Bronx, was a Yankee fan, but a huge Knicks fan. And so I interviewed her, and she says, "Can we talk Knicks basketball?" And I said, "That's why I want to interview you."
Yeah.
And so she was telling me about the vibe, and she said for the first time, and you'll appreciate this, but for the first time in the city, people would be wearing Knicks gear, and if they saw you, it's high fives.
Yep.
And if you guys don't, I mean, you guys know this, but if you guys don't know, when you're in New York City, you just keep your head down when you're walking. You're not high-fiving people.
Right.
And she says it's a completely different vibe in the city.
Yeah.
It's great. It was great. All right, my friend, Ramon, a cool experience that you've seen live. You've had a lot of history in your life,
Right.
but is there something cool that you saw?
Yes. When the Miami Heat were playing in the playoffs, and Adam took us, he brought tickets for us, and I saw that game shot. What's his name again? Allen?
Yeah. Oh, you just, yeah.
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 Same.
And he shot that, and he scored. And the Heat was great. I said Adam was working for the Miami Heat, and he locked out because they won 3 championships.
2 that when I
2.
was there, yeah.
He got 2 beautiful rings, and he won't give me one. He's got 2 world champion.
I told him he's taking plenty of pictures with it. Whenever he wants, he can
No,
put
this
it
is
on.
what you do. You pull out the old receipts, say, okay, this is what it cost me for your braces, for your tonsils when you came out, whatever. Like all this stuff as a kid, you just keep receipts, right? A buddy of mine's kid just got drafted by the Cardinals, and he took him to a bunch of like perfect game tournaments, all these different tournaments. And I said, keep all those receipts. So when he gets drafted, he can say, all right, this one cost me $8,000. This one cost me 15. No, I'm just
Here's
teasing.
my expense report.
Yeah, exactly. Dave, I'm just kidding. I love you, Dave. Anyways,
And for Adam, is the sneakers. He loves the sneakers.
Not
And
anymore.
he
Not
was
anymore.
playing basketball in high school,
yeah,
and he had to buy the most expensive
the Jordans. You had to have the Jordans.
sneakers. And I tell him, there's no way I'm spending $50 and that's it. I said, $50. And he said, well, Dad, what about if I make the money and the rest of the money? I said, okay, go ahead. And he did.
You did this wrong. You're supposed to say, Dad, give me the $50. I'll get the sneakers, and then you go get a paper route or whatever.
Yeah,
you help your buddy with the paper route. Then you got the cash and you go buy the
Invest that
Jordans.
in. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But
I've
you
been
took Dad's $50. Dad, look, I got him for $50. As your brothers are going, how does he do this for $50?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I was hustling. I was door-to-door
he was-
selling since I was 11,
Yeah.
and got my first full-time job when I was 15.
Nice.
And
He was a hustler.
yeah.
He come out of school. I say, go do your homework. Dad, I did my homework on the bus already. And he grabbed his bike, and he had a book where he was selling all kind of stuff. And he run around to all the neighborhood. And all of a sudden, man, he was making some money. I'm saying, man, this guy is good.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, I am beyond honored to have you here in the Top Fan Rivalry Clubhouse and talk to you about this stuff.
I think we're on it.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
I
Appreciate it.
this is fantastic, and I'm gonna get a chance to interview you guys one-on-one for a minute, but I just absolutely love your history. I love the your thoughts, and just love the father and son memories. Those are stuff that you can't buy, right?
Yes,
for sure.
And so thank you so much for taking time, both of you, to be on the show today. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yes, Top Fan Rivalry family, we will be back with the one-on-ones. This has been absolutely awesome. If you have any questions or want to be on the show, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to put you on the show. We do these every month. And if you're not familiar with our socials, by all means, subscribe and follow us. We appreciate you guys being on and watching Adam and his father, Ramon. And don't forget to check out the one-on-one videos. Thanks so much.
Awesome.